Hello everyone, how are you all? In the previous videos, we had covered almost all our sessions except the three, that is session 9, 10 and 11. So in this video, we'll be covering that too. Okay, so on your screen, you have session 9, that is maintain workplace safety. So the basic safety rules to follow at workplace, that is fire safety, falls and slips, electrical safety, use of first aid. Why this topic is provided to you? Um, once you are hired by any of the company, that you are no longer working at home. You are going somewhere else out of your place and far from your home, and you must take care of yourself first because you are working in some other environment, okay, at some other place where you don't know what are the circumstances, the environment is there, what kind of atmosphere, mishappenings can occur. We have to see, every coin has two sides. The positive side, we are looking that we got hired, we are getting salary, but on the negative side, that is what can go wrong, right? That is the main thing. So every organization must follow a standard set of safety rules and procedures, which all the organizations are following, right? But as an employee, you must see your safety concerns, right? First, these rules must be stated and displayed clearly. The first one is basic fire safety rules in an organization, which are mentioned below. That is, fire escape plans must be installed at proper levels. Like if working in an environment, right, working in any of the organization, and this is for the organization, that organization must follow these for the safety of their employees, for themselves also. Fire safety, fire escape plans must there. It include simply the fire extinguishers, right? These are the equipment which help them to, just make the fire, you know, reduced. And another one is fire exits, the doors, okay, and the other equipment. Conduct regular drills, right? Every week or fortnightly, the organization must, conduct a drill so that the employees used to get familiar with that. And whenever the fire occurs in the organization, employee must be escaped in a very, don't be in a panic mode. They must be escaped in a very safety and safe mode, right? In a very smooth and comfortable mode, so that there is no panic or something, so that no one could get injured. Next is maintain of safety equipment must be taken care of regularly. That is, fire extinguishers are there or any other concern related to, just uh, put the fire at some place, right? Means we don't want those fires because those are the mishappenings. So fire safety equipments must be checked regularly, whether they are working, whether that nozzle is working, wherever we have to, switch it on, the extinguisher and all. Next is falls and slip safety rules. The workplace must be properly ventilated. It must be airy. Floors must be clean and dry. Must be cleaned. Do not be oily, right? So that no one could get slipped over it. And must be dry. If someone is cleaning, the sweeper or any other person is cleaning, they must make it side by side, uh, that dry, surface. Oil spills, dust must be immediately cleaned if any oil is spilled somewhere, right? uh, that means अगर कोई ऑयल वगैरह, ठीक है, कहीं पे गिरा हुआ है या फैला हुआ है, ठीक है, सरफेस पे, इट मस्ट बी क्लीन, साफ हो जाए. Smoke alarms must be placed at proper intervals. Intervals in the sense, organization can be a bigger one. So proper intervals means if there is some, fire in an organization at some area, so it must be, alarming. The smoke alarms are there on on the roof, so they must be placed at proper intervals, or after every 2 minutes it, gets switched on, or it must be, uh, listened by each and every employee. Keep workplace a no smoking zone. There must be no smoking zone area, the whole area basically. Next is electrical safety rules. Electrical equipment approved by a recognized organization. So whatever electrical equipment they are using, like the wires, the switches, the sockets, it must be properly, approved by recognized organization. Must be a robust one, not a simply low quality product. It must be the branded. Branded, I mean, not the expensive. Branded, I mean that it must be robust. Robust mean it can resist the electrical failure, right? Damaged and hazardous electrical equipment should be immediately replaced. If any electric equipment is not working properly, or it is burnt, it must be replaced. All old and work out and frayed switches and wires should be changed. I'm telling you that if it is burnt, or it's not working, or it is getting melted, because with a heavy load of electricity, those sockets get burnt and they started melting, because that there is too much energy in those wires. Heat emanating equipment should be kept away from the electrical equipment. Take care that the outlets circuits should not be overloaded. Next is use of first aid. If any mishappening occurs, when to use, how to use those first aid, and must be there, those kits. First aid is the immediate assistance provided to the injured to save life and minimize health loss till the proper medical aid or facility is provided. So that, first aid works as a miracle for the, the person who is suffering from something. And every organization must have basic first aid kits. Kit must have all the necessary items like the creams, the painkillers, that for the wounds and all, must be there. Cotton and all, betadine, like the antiseptic things. Make sure to check the expiry of medical related items. It must also be checked the expiry, because normally we are provided whenever we are buying any sort of vehicle, there is a first aid kit, right? But we are not bothering about the expiry, because after 2 or 3 years they got expired, and still those kits were, lying in our glove box in the car, or like in our those tool compartment in the bikes or Activa, right? Or it must be checked properly. Some rules of first aid are: assure the insured to remain calm and not to panic. Keep them warm if they are under shock. If they are under shock, they'll be thinking of that mishappening only, so they can lead to some bigger issues for their health. So do not move the victim in case of back or neck injury, because if there is these things, if these kind of injuries are there, do not let the person move somewhere. A worker may face occupational hazards at workplace also, so just take care. This was session 9. Next is session 10, that is prevent accidents and emergencies. If anything occurs, so what should be done? So accidents are the unplanned or unexpected event that may happen all of a sudden and may lead to unwanted or unprecedented results or outcomes which we don't know what can come. Or emergency. What is emergency? Any unexpected or unplanned situation that needs immediate attention and action. So there are some types of accidents. First one is accidents at workplace. I told you, slips and fall accidents or fire, industrial disease or illness, road traffic accidents, clinical accidents, sports related accidents. So workplace accident may include injuries that are caused to the worker due to falls or slips and trips. Slip and fall accidents may occur at any working environment, and the injuries may vary from minor to major severe accident. So some include fracture, sprain, knee or elbow injury, wrist or head injuries, etc. So an emergency situation is one that threatens the employees, customers or the public, disrupts or shuts down the operations, causes physical or environmental change. So emergencies that require evacuation, that require escape immediately. There is fire, explosion, floods, hurricane, uh, earthquake, tornado, toxic material release. Toxic material release means those chemicals which are in a form of liquid and they are producing any gas while coming out from their blocks or furnaces, right? Or the bottles. Civil disturbance, any riots have protest or you could say the fighting has uh, started somewhere at your workplace or in front of your workplace or inside the workplace. Workplace violence, that means any argument uh, which catches fire and converted into a fight, physical fight. Handling accidents, accident must be handled carefully. The accident should be handled compassionately without assigning blame on others. See, normally person used to come on the main thing, they started blaming others that it was your fault, it is your fault, that's why this has happened. On wherever the accident has occurred, do not assume by blaming on others. Just be calm, right? And first priority is to take care of whosoever has met with an accident must be take care properly. Every organization must follow SOAP for accident handling. SOAP means are the rules and regulations. Safety measures must be placed to prevent workplace accidents. Immediate call the medical team for any injury. Stay alert, attentive, pay attention to and follow emergency drills. Next is session 9, that is protect health and safety at work. So hazards and sources of hazards. An organization can face some health hazards that could put the lives of the employees in danger. So the different types of hazards are including something that is physical, chemical, biological, mechanical. So the sources of hazards. Checklist for workstations. The workstation should provide sufficient space for the user to alter position comfortably. It must not be the small cabin that a person or an employee could not move somewhere for their physical fitness. Okay, so they must provide sufficient space, provide adequate lighting. It must be bright office or cabin or the space whatever is allotted. Have windows spotted with adjustable coverings to alter the sunlight level. That means to just to not to get the sunlight always, right? So it must be with the adjustable covering so that whatever or how much light we want to, we could change it. Be spacious enough when a workstation is shared by more than one person. Display screen should be there. The display screen should display well defined characters of adequate size and spacing, have a stable image, have easily adjustable brightness and contrast. Screen means workstation is basically a kind of table where you're having a computer in front of you. Screen is the thing which is the LED or whatever screen they'll be providing to you. Must have these facilities what I am telling you right now. Tilt and swivel easily to suit the user. Be free from glare and reflection. Those machines or those screens must be anti-glare and anti-reflected screens. Use a separate base for the screen or an adjustable table. The keyboard should be able to tilt easily so that we could move easily. There must be a space for our channel to drag in or drag out, and should be able to separate from the screen and have space in front to provide support for the hands or arms of the users. It must be comfortably designed for the user. Have a matte surface. Do not be a very frictional surface. It must not be very smoothie surface so that we could not even place our hand or arms. Have clearly legible symbols on the keys. Must be readable to all. The keys on the keyboard and all. Work surface should provide adequate space for the user. It's already discussed. Have a low reflective surface. Yeah, it must not be a reflected one, matte, like a sun mica they used to use on the woods and all. Be of an adequate size to allow the screen, keyboard, and the other peripherals to be flexibly arranged if something must be arranged properly. So there must be adequate space for them or size. Have a stable and adjustable document holder, which should be at the same level as the screen and at the same viewing distance so that we could not get affected with while looking especially for the document holder like somewhere else. Next is workplace evacuation. In case of emergency, there should be provision of evacuation. Evacuation basically is the process of emptying a place in case of an emergency or disaster. So every company must follow some points. That is, evacuation policy must be there, right? If organization must have an every organization must have an evacuation policy. All the team leaders are responsible for informing about the policy to their employees about it. So proper attention must be paid when the team leader is informing you about these details. Negligence at this time may cost lives. Organization must have a designated assembly point for emergencies. Ensure that every employee worker must know where it is. A buddy system for individuals with special needs or disabilities must be designated. Suppose those who are physically challenged or are disabled person must have the ramps so that they could drag their wheelchair, they could move their wheelchair from those and get escaped from the organization. Okay. Next is floor plans with evacuation routes in work areas means every floor must have a kind of big photo or a blueprint where everyone or every person can easily see it, and wherever the escape or exit is there, so they must go in that direction. It must be properly labeled. Assembly areas where you are required to assemble after evacuation. That means after evacuation you must be at somewhere, some place so that they could so that the company could see that the employees are present and no one is missing. Periodic evacuation drills should be conducted. Periodic, I told you, every week or fortnight. Fortnight means every 15 days, okay, or monthly. They must be take care. Healthy living. Next is a healthy body has a healthy mind. A very popular saying is that a very famous quote. So, healthy lifestyle leads to healthy being. A healthy living has a lasting impact on an individual, which ultimately yields a healthy environment at home as well as at workplace. A happy and healthy worker will always perform best at his ability. So, a healthy lifestyle helps to improve. Some of the healthy lifestyles includes which you people are not, you know, following. That is healthy eating habits. Do not eat much. Do not eat less, but in a balanced mood. Next is physical activities. Must be your body must be exercised on a regular intervals. Stress management. You must know how to manage your stress. Healthy mind. How you make your healthy mind by thinking healthy and positive thoughts. Do not be negative. Sound sleep. Goal setting. Okay. So must be uh, you must have one goal in your life, not one goal. I'm saying if one is achieved, have the another one. That is simple. A healthy lifestyle takes needs practice, sorry, commitment and sincere efforts. So stay healthy, stay happy. So this is it for this unit. It is covered, and uh, almost all your syllabus is completed with this because we have only 4 units. But one thing is there, that is your uh, one employability skill topic is there, which is related to English only, how you are dealing with the personality development thing. So I'll be covering it afterwards. Okay. So I hope you understood these sessions. This unit is done. Okay. So if you have any kind of query, you can ask via same channel, that is YouTube, or via official, that is ERP. So if you have any questions, do ask. Okay, and I'll be covering these topics in the classes also in school. Those who are coming, and those who are not coming, just I'm telling you, do come, right, with safety precautions, and we school are also taking your safety precautions and all, right? So, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.